Hello, and welcome to A Lady Well Traveled. I'm your host and creator, Shannon Bednarova, and I'm delighted that you've joined me today for this podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, this podcast focuses on helping people who want to explore the world transform their travel through savvy travel tips, common sense travel advice, and learning about the best destinations to visit with a sense of humor and wonder. If you're like me, you've paid a lot of attention to the hordes of World Cup fans traveling to the United States. You've probably also noticed that these visitors are overwhelmingly positive about the time that they are spending in the United States and the experiences that they're having with the people, the culture, and especially the food. You've seen the videos on TikTok and Instagram where these soccer fans are gushing over Buc-ee's or Chick-fil-A, the free refills on soda, and how even one Japanese traveler was humbled and overwhelmed by the Mexican restaurant's never-ending chips and salsa that he couldn't refuse. They're posting videos of themselves walking through American neighborhoods, marveling at the homes, whether large or small, the well-maintained lawns, the overarching sense of safety and freedom that they feel. Many talk about how wonderful it is that Americans smile at them and say hello as they pass them on the street. These world travelers are seeing not only the big cities, but also small town America, farms, villages, locales, and rural areas that are occupied by everyday working Americans who make this country what it is. Not the metropolitan elites, not the government officials, or the media talking heads that they see all the time on television. They're understanding the vastness of this United States and how that they can actually drive for days and still be in the same country. They also are seeing that while we're one country, our 50 states are all very unique. We have diverse populations and geography, and we also have so much to offer visitors. It's no wonder that many Americans choose to vacation in the United States versus traveling abroad. Now, I'm a pretty well-traveled individual. I've traveled to close to 70 countries myself, but I have still yet to see all 50 states. I have 11 that I have not seen. So our guests are also posting pictures and videos of themselves marveling at the spectacular scenery that they're experiencing as they travel through the United States, whether it be the Rocky Mountains, the beautiful beaches of Florida, the fabulous cities of Boston or Savannah, or the cornfields of Kansas. Now, some are from countries with scenery and landscapes that don't vary much. They see the same things all the time. In the United States, we have pretty much everything when it comes to geography and landscapes. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about how much our wonderful guests are enjoying our fantastic dining options. Maybe now they understand why a lot of Americans are a little bit overweight. Now, if you haven't traveled abroad extensively, you may find it hard to believe that most people around the world do not eat like Americans. And I want to explain what I mean by that. I'm talking about food options, availability, and variety. Now, when I say that, it's because America is such a melting pot of so many cultures. We have so many cuisines that are available to us, and we eat different ethnic. And when I say ethnic, it's kind of like in air quotes, because really, we are just one country of many, many different cultures. And we eat those foods really on a regular basis, and we really don't think much about it. For example, we might eat Vietnamese food on Monday, Mexican food on Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, anybody? Texas barbecue on Wednesday, maybe some Ethiopian on Thursday. How about French on Friday? Italian on Saturday? And how about a German lunch on Sunday? And then, of course, we've got the incredible cuisines of all of the different regions in the United States, such as Cajun, Tex Mex, Creole, Southern. Goodness, North Carolina barbecue or Texas barbecue stands alone. California fresh cuisine, Boston's clam chowder and lobster rolls. I mean, this list could go on forever and ever. Each state has their own wonderful cuisine. In America, we find this normal. And most importantly, we as a people can typically afford to eat well. The rest of the world typically does not eat like this. They eat the cuisine which is native to their area of the world. Now, that has changed somewhat in Europe and Australia and the larger metropolitan cities around the world, which now are offering a much more wide variety of cuisines. But most average people worldwide eat a fairly restricted diet based on local availability, their cultural norms, and what they can afford. For example, in Portugal and Spain, if you've ever been there, you're going to find that there are a lot of cheese croquettes and Iberico ham and tapas on the menu. But you're going to also find it's very hard to locate a mixed green salad in a traditional restaurant. It's just not served. If you go to South Africa, most African people eat pap, which is a polenta that's served with fruit for breakfast or relishes and vegetables for lunch and dinner. They also have beans, legumes. Meat is really not eaten all that often. But those are typically the things that your normal everyday people eat, and they don't have a lot of variety in their meals. We don't understand that as Americans, that people around the world don't eat like we do. We take this bounty and variety really for granted because I think most of us grew up having access to all of these cuisines. So I think it's been a wonder watching all of the visitors for the World Cup come to America and try our food. I think it's easy to poke fun at Chick-fil-A or In-N-Out Burger, but they obviously have something going on as well. And to see someone have their first bite of a great smoked brisket or a lobster roll or, goodness, Southern biscuits and sausage gravy, and you watch their eyes roll back in their head as they positively swoon with ecstasy. I mean, it's really something to behold, isn't it? And it gives me a sense of pride and joy in our cuisine and our culture. And goodness gracious, let's talk about the wonderful American people for a moment. Our guests are learning what I've always known and what you've probably always known too. Americans aren't perfect by any means, but we are kind, welcoming, hospitable, and fun-loving. Most of us love meeting new people and showing them around our beautiful country. You've seen us embrace visitors into our country in ways that have surprised some of us and certainly the world. But it didn't surprise me, and it probably hasn't surprised many of you either. People from around the world are forming lasting relationships with people all over the globe because of the World Cup. Whomever decided to host this was a genius because it was exactly the reminder that the world and the citizens of the United States needed. Not only have these videos that we've seen endeared these folks to us, but they've helped many people in the United States remember something that they forgot, or more close to the truth is something that they've been taught or brainwashed to believe by the media and our education system. It's really sad, I think, to understand how desperately the media, our educators, and others within our own country want to paint the United States as horrible, racist, and it's some kind of bigoted hellhole where everyone runs around with pew-pews shooting at each other all the time, and that no one has any opportunities to succeed unless the United States immediately turns into a communist or socialist country. And sadly, these folks have been really effective with this propaganda because our guests have been astonished that America and Americans are nothing like what they've been told for years. And that tells us really everything that we need to know about the credibility of the Fourth Estate and our education system. As I travel a lot, I also hear some Americans feeding into this narrative. They whine nonstop about our government and how horrible things are. I wonder how they can talk about their horrible American lives while they're taking a luxurious trip that costs so much money that 99% of the world would only be able to fantasize about doing so. I often observe wait staff or guides on these trips listening to this drivel and rolling their eyes at such incredible entitlement. As Americans, we're so blessed with what we have. So blessed. As Americans, either at home or abroad, be thankful, be gracious, and be kind. Be a good ambassador for your country wherever you go, at home or abroad. We are an exceptional country and people. That doesn't mean we're better than. That doesn't mean we're perfect. It means we have so much to offer and so much to give. I'm glad we're hosting the FIFA World Cup, and I'm grateful for the dose of reality that we've been given by the TikTok and Instagram mafia from around the world. Now, I've never been a soccer fan, but because of you, I'm now watching games that don't even involve the United States team, just because they're fun to watch, and I get into the spirit of the thousands of fans. Although I currently know as much about soccer as I do about quantum physics, I'm learning every day, and it's been a blast. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you to all of you who took the time to post on social media and let us know exactly how much you are enjoying yourself in our great country. We're so glad you came to visit, and you're welcome to come back and see us at any time. We'll leave the light on for you at the front door and have a pitcher of sweet tea and pimento cheese sandwiches ready for you. The dogs might bark when you enter, but you'll see their tails will be wagging. Come on in, y'all. And you know what? Don't listen to the haters. We love you. Thanks. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of A Lady Well Traveled. I'd love to hear your comments, and you can reach out to me at shannon@aladywelltraveled.com. That's shannon@aladywelltraveled.com, and that's traveled with 2 L's. I can also be found on all streaming platforms, and now I'm also available on YouTube, where you can find all of my episodes. As always, God created this big, beautiful world just for you. All you have to do is get out there and see it. And so, until next time, bye-bye.